Okay, let's try this origin story one more time. Yes, I was watching Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and I love that movie, I'm not gonna lie, but at the same time, it kind of made me think about a lot of stuff, what's been going on in my life lately, stuff I've been finding out about myself, and it's good and bad, okay? Good and bad meaning that when I feel like I've figured it out, something else comes along to throw a monkey wrench in. Said monkey wrench starts unscrewing a lot of shit, which is good because there's some stuff I still need to look at. But it's also bad because, like, goddamn, do I get to live or do I have to keep healing? Do I have to keep on unwrapping myself and not living my life, or does it have to keep me guessing? Does it always have to keep me taking steps back? And then, when I sit back and I meditate after a while and I realize that no, it doesn't have to be any of that. You choose for it to be that way. Life is always about choices, and some of the choices I've been making lately, I question a lot of them, but they're my choices. Meaning that I found out something about myself very recently, and it's about how I feel overall. I went to a deep meditation little session with one of my friends recently, and she made me like really dig deep. Like for 2 days, she made me dig deep, and she had me journal it down. One of the things I realized is that I'm always looking for some kind of silent gratification, some kind of nod for me to go forward with my life. And the reason why I do that is because I really do still hold grudges against people who I've seen who've gone on with their lives, family and friends. When we're young, we're told, hey, it's all about your family. You got to take care of your family, blah, blah, blah. But how can you take care of family when certain members of the family only look out for themselves? They could care less what happens to you, but a lot of them do. I feel a lot of the family do just look after themselves, and that's it. And that's what I was taught. And I've always had that strange feeling. I need a silent nod or some kind of silent, hey, Philip, you're doing good. You're doing good now. You can move forward with your life. That was one of the biggest obstacles I was facing up until now. No matter how much people tried to talk to me about it, no matter how much people would say it's the now. And some people would try to correct me. I'd say, well, this happened. Hey, no. Trying to discount your feelings. But there's some things that you have to look at. There's some things that you have to see, where's the origin point at? And in those 2 days, I was looking at origin points to see where all that shit came from. And it did stem from family. It came from me wanting some kind of satisfaction that they're acknowledging me. I realized I don't need anyone's acknowledgement anymore. I don't need a nod to say, hey, Phil, go ahead and go on with your life. A lot of that came from my grandma. And bless her heart, may she rest in peace, please. she was the one who mainly got me on all that. Felipe, you have to make sure you have to watch out for the family because someone has to. And please, can you I know I'm asking a lot of you, but can you always make sure that the family is okay, make sure that the family comes first? So, Grandma, what am I supposed to do with my life? Mijo, I'm just asking this of you. Not you have to live your life too. I always had to look after the family. And so silently I did. There's a lot of times I know I could have gone different places, done different things, but I know I didn't because I wanted to keep that promise to my grandma. And okay, weird story time. Well, it's not weird to me, but to everyone else it's weird, and everyone's gonna say, oh, you're on some kind of fucking drugs. The person I'm talking about who was helping me during the meditation actually was my grandma. She came to visit me for in real time. In real time, it was about a week. In astrological time, in time spatial, no time, it was 2 days. So over a course of a whole week, my grandma came to visit me, and she made me sit down, and she meditated with me. She showed me different things. She showed me me. And when I asked her, Grandma, why now? Why are you showing all this to me now? Why couldn't you show me this earlier? She's like, well, mijo, there's certain things that, as you know, aren't what they seem. And what I mean by that is that everyone looks at the three-dimensional world we live in. There's a complete different world. We can't see. We can feel it, There's times, it comes in forms of deja vu. It comes in forms of maybe seeing something out the corner of our eye that we was like, damn, what was that? That was weird. There's a whole nother world, and that's the world I'm speaking about. Speaking about when our family comes back to help us. My grandma came back to help me to try to set a whole bunch of things right and to apologize. And she told me, I know what I asked you what at the time was not right. But because of who I am, I tried to push that on you. Please, 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 you do the same thing. You live in prosperity. You live your life. Like you always say, you don't know how many summers you got left. You know how much time you got left. And I said, Grandma, but you do. She goes, well, yeah, I do know. That's why I'm here now. I want you to hurry up and move on with your life. I want you to do everything what you set out to do. I want you to listen to your inner child about being creative, about writing. She goes, ignore what I told you, ignore what other people told you, ignore what your mother told you, ignore what everyone's told you about you just trying to work, save up, and when you retire. She goes, that's no way to live. She goes, and I'm sorry that you never had anyone, and I mean anyone, to help you, help you with your life to move on. She goes, you have a few people now. She goes, and those people are very precious. Those people are very few and far between. You know who they are. She goes, I don't have to name them. You know who they are. Hold them close. Move on with your life. I want you to feel what you're feeling. I want you to write it down. And so I did. I wrote everything down, the whole conversation between me and my grandma, and I've come to one big conclusion. My life, my life could have been good a long time ago if I would have just got out of my own head. She was testing me to say, you know what? Leave me the fuck alone. This is my life. Instead of always trying to get some kind of approval from anybody. And now when I sit here and I think about it, sorry, I can't really talk right now because I'm getting really emotional about this. And I'm over here wondering what people are going to say, which at this point in time right now, I don't give a fuck what anybody says. This is my story. I'm at a point right now where it's my life. I'm going to do what I got to do. I've never wanted this cycle of violence. This whole cycle of violence was introduced to me at a very young age. I wanted to write. I wanted to do all kinds of stuff. It was a medium who I worked on here a couple of weeks ago inside the office. And she was like, I'm getting a picture of a Tonka truck. You, as a little boy, big afro, plaid pants, a blue shirt with a duck on it, and a big yellow Tonka truck. When she said that, I knew exactly what she was talking about. And I did have a blue shirt with Donald Duck on it. I had my favorite plaid pants that my grandpa bought me, and I wore them fuckers every single day. No shoes on. And they'd get mad. And of course, yeah, as typical, they'd hit me and shit like that because that's all they fucking knew. But it was so special, that image that she brought in my head, especially of that yellow Tonka truck, because all I wanted to do was build. I wanted to build worlds. I was into reading heavily, and I wanted to write stories. I wanted to create stories. And the only one who ever listened to my stories whenever they came into town was my Uncle Noonie. May he rest in peace. He was the only one. Not my mom, not my brother, not nobody else would ever want to hear these stories. They would just, no, whatever, just go do something else. That was always what they'd say. And then they wondered why I became withdrawn, why I got closed off to him, why I don't really say anything to anyone anymore except for the people who have moved on. And that's fine. Everyone, a lot of people who I know who are spiritual and shit like that talk to people who have moved on more than they talk to people who are here. And if we do talk to people who are here, it's people like us. That's why I always talk about my homegirl Laurel, because she 100% fully understands where I'm coming from. She's the only one I can have these high level conversations, but I can't have these kind of conversations with anybody else because everyone kind of, either we're not on the same level, they're worried about other bullshit, or I just don't want to talk to them about it because I feel it. People like me who really feel deeply, who are empathic and very intuitive, we know who to talk to, who not to talk to. And that's not a knock against anybody. So before anyone gets in their feelings, please, that's not a knock against y'all. We just know who we can talk to. We know who we can't talk to. We know who we can safely be around. You know, if we can be around you and be ourselves, then hey, you know what? That's a win for you because we can't be ourselves around everybody. We don't want to. But long story short, I just want to say thank you to everyone who's been there for me on the spiritual as well as that deep empathic emotional level. If I've had high level conversations with you like this, thank you very much. If I've had you do shit that's out of sorts that deep down I knew wasn't me, I apologize. I really do. And by that I mean, if I have asked you to cover me while I was being a cheating fool, I apologize. That shouldn't have been part of the case or anything like that. I just want to be happy and joyful. Well, more joyful than happy, because with happiness, you got to find that shit every day. When you find your joy, you're good to go. So again, long story short, thank you. I just wanted to ramble. I just wanted to talk because I haven't said anything in a long time. It's been over 2 weeks since my last post. And what started this off was the dream again. I had a dream of my grandma, and I thank her very much. So thank you for listening. I got to go back into massage, folks, which there's a huge update about that right there. And that's a whole complete different story for next time. But I promise you it will be soon. Matter of fact, I might do that. I might talk about that after work. Matter of fact, I will talk about it after work. Cool? I love you all. We'll talk to you soon. Mwah. Peace.